I was at Dolphins camp, Leroy, and a couple interesting things happened. So, first off, Xavier Howard, he sat out yesterday. I guess they had an aggravation of his ankle, is what they're saying. Although Flo did say that the contract talks are going in the right direction. I don't know what the hell that means. That was kind of interesting. You think he's going to stay now? Like, is this happening? Like, all of a sudden, cooler heads are prevailing, and X is going to be back?
Because here's the deal. If they have the same situation as other teams, then other teams are going to start looking at, we didn't get our guy, or we didn't get this guy. Let's look at K. Nutt. Like, other teams are going to do the same thing, so everybody's in the same boat. You understand what I'm saying?
I was talking about Xavier Howard, dude.
Oh, shit.
Dump that.
-1.
It's okay. It didn't get out.
Oh, it didn't get out?
No.
Oh, it didn't get out?
No.
Oh, it got out.
I was reading something. So anyway.
I said, all right, let me rewind that for you.
You were just talking about basketball. No, I heard you.
All right.
I got it.
So anyway, Flo said yesterday, he says that as far as the contract, we'll continue to have that dialogue with X about that. Take it one day at a time. He says, I do think that we're moving in the right direction. Is that just coach talk, or do you think he's legit about that? Like, they're coach actually going?
Because he's been saying that all summer. And then, Xavier Howard came out and said what he said.
Interesting.
You see what I mean? Like, hey, look, here's the good thing about what Flo has done. Flo has never, ever said that thing that means somebody got to take a stand. You understand? So all of these back and forths, none of it has ever been definitively, well, I'm not showing up for football until I get paid, or it's never been, well, we just signed him to a contract, we're not paying him. And so from that aspect of it, nobody's taking a hard stand, then that means that they're probably still trying to work something out.
Yeah, I mean he's there like watching every day, and everybody's showing with him. It's not like he's some kind of outcast there. Everybody's just kind of seeing how they can work things out with this whole situation. They also haven't really even started. Like, I think they've been super cautious with injuries too. Like today's the first day they throw the pads on. Today is the first padded practice. So business picks up. Business picks up today.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's picked up, but look, it's still, they're going to have a couple of periods with pads on. They're not going to get you right into it. But it will be a better indication. Here, when receivers go across the middle of the field, they still can't get knocked out.
Oh, they can't do that? That's not allowed?
No.
And no one's touching Tua. Don't you touch Tua.
One year we practiced against Chicago in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin, right? And we were in shoulder pads and helmets and shorts. And I ran a seam route and literally got knocked out of the rest of practice.
Jeez.
In practice against the Chicago Bears.
What happens, can I ask something? What happens if Jalen Phillips, so I don't think he's completely healthy right now. He's on the side doing work, but let's just say.
He'll be hurt. Camp just started.
Dude, I don't know. I saw him doing battle ropes yesterday. He wasn't out practicing. What happens if he gets a little too froggy and he knocks Tua on his ass? Like, what happens?
Oh, the O-line is required to go and give him the business.
Wow, really?
What?
Ooh, I like that.
Would you like to be an offensive lineman that didn't protect their quarterback?
Wow. So what does that mean?
That means he's gonna be dealt with.
It's weird.
That's how it goes.
But so yeah, yesterday at camp. So I'm confused about something. Maybe I was mishearing some things, but I'm in the stands yesterday, right? And I think I'm hearing the fans say that I hear some scoundrels, some rascals out there starting a let's trade Howard. I thought they were saying that. Now, according to Omar Kelly, who was sitting literally right behind me, he's saying that they were chanting, let's play Howard. I don't feel like that makes sense. I felt like they were chanting, let's trade Howard because people were starting.
Let's play him.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure. Not like we were discussing this, but I read that last night. I was like, I could have swore I heard them starting to chant, "Let's trade Howard," because people were kind of, it wasn't really like a powerful chant. And then people were kind of like booing them, like boo, boo. Like they didn't want to be jerks. It was a bad look. Don't say that about Xavier Howard, because then what also then happened was it flipped on the guys who I think were trading, who were chanting, "Let's trade Howard," and then it was, "We love Howard," and that was like overwhelming. It was like, "We love Howard, we love Howard."
No, someone else was there saying, "Let's pay Howard."
Was it "Let's pay"? I thought they were saying. See, I thought there were some jerks who were saying, "Let's trade Howard."
No, he said that somebody was there and said, "Let's pay Howard."
I'm surprised.
That sounds better.
Yeah, but it did. They both of them ended up not, whatever it was. They ended up changing it to "We love Howard," and that, like, everybody was chanting that. That went crazy.
Well, the problem is that when you're not as a team in the crowd and you have different chants, some chants go. You don't understand some chants, and then people start responding to the chants.
Yeah, I thought that they were saying "Let's trade," or said "Let's trade Howard," because I noticed some people were like booing it. I was like, well, that's kind of. I was like, those guys are jerks, and I was glad some people were snuffing it out. And then it was like, and then it went into "We love Howard." I mean, that one I heard overwhelmingly.
Nobody was clear what that first chant was.
Everybody was just.
People say, "Did they say trade Howard?"
Let's work this out. Let's work. Should we go? Let's trade, pay, play. How about we just love? We love. How about we love X? How about that?
It's
we
like
love X.
You know what I hate? I hate the wave, right? But I hate when the people don't keep the wave going. Like, so
lazy.
There's always, you have your one little crew. Let's start the wave. Let's start the wave. Let's start the wave. And then and then it goes like one section. No.
Yeah. Well, either way, here's Eric Rowe. Eric Rowe spoke yesterday after practice. Here was his reaction to the "We love Howard" chants.
I mean, one, it's just good to have fans back, to hear really any chant. It's been a whole year without it. But obviously, fans, they love X. I mean, he's been here his whole career. Like, I get it. And, he goes on the field, he balls out. I mean, I would chant for him too.
Yeah. No acknowledgement from Xavier Howard. Just kept it stone cold, looking ahead, tunnel vision.
Look, this got to be this where this franchise is right now, with the positive vibe and the way things are going. I would hate to think this goes sideways for a couple of $1 million. Right? In the big picture, it's not a lot of money.
Yeah, I agree.
It just, this is not the time to take a stand. Like, not now. Now, I was thinking about this, and I said, you don't want to open up the floodgates for everybody to think they can come and redo their contract. But
how rare is it going to be?
Funny. Yeah, life is funny in that everybody don't have it like that.
I was about to say, like, how many times are we really going to be in this situation?
Right. So I rethought that, and I thought, like, there's no rush to do it, but it should have been done already.
Dude, South. Let's come up with an amicable agreement on Howard. Leroy Hoard. He you had yourself a moment earlier in today's show. And we were talking. I was trying to get an expert opinion. Leroy Hoard, NFL expert, was trying to get an opinion on where he thinks stand with Xavier Howard. And
were we not just talking about Kendrick?
A segment before we were, but I was bringing
not
up
a segment.
A segment before. No, a segment before. We were talking about the NBA free agency, and then the next segment, I come in and I start talking about Xavier Howard and Flo's comments on his contract, and this is what ensued. Although Flo did say that the contract talks are going in the right direction, I don't know what the hell that means. That was kind of interesting. You think he's going to stay now? Like, is this happening? Like, all of a sudden, cooler heads are prevailing, and X is going to be back?
Because here's the deal. If they have the same situation as other teams, then other teams are going to start looking at, we didn't get our guy.
Wow, that's way up.
Or we didn't get this guy. Let's look at K. Nut. Like other teams are going to do the same thing, so everybody's in the same boat. You understand what I'm saying?
I was talking about Xavier Howard, dude.
Oh, hey, man, pay attention. Jeez. Oh,
Did you think I said Spo? Like, what happened there?
Oh, look, I was responding to Twitch. You started talking. I was thinking that we were talking. Maybe I was responding to basketball questions, so I thought we were still in the basketball. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Oh, man.
I was thinking about how many bags of rocks I got to buy.
How many bags of rocks do you have to buy now?
I just went outside real quick. And, you know, when you think that bag of rocks is going to cover an area this big right here, and it actually covers up this, like, in that area you want to call, that's 3-4 bags. I probably need another 10, 12 bags.
Oh, my God.
I've literally spent $300 on rocks, and I thought it was going to cost me $40. Trevor
from the 203 says that's better than Amber's dump. It's up there. It's up there. Just it's such a defeat. You know what the best part of it is? It's such a defeated. Oh, bleep. Because you were going on a beautiful point. You were making a beautiful point about Kendrick Nunn, and you're like, you know, some people don't get the guys that they want, and that, you know, that could be a great fit for Kendrick Nunn to prove himself. And it would have been a great point if we were talking about that. Kendrick Nunn. But you're like, oh, bleep. You're just thinking about.
I'm telling you now. What I'm thinking right now is, you know, when you had them family kids come over to the house, I'm already putting the feelers out there.
What do you mean?
Y'all little badass bastards better not touch none of my rocks. I put a lot of hard work into them rocks.
You were taking some pride in your landscaping?
Well, no, I didn't. Look, I'm pot committed now. I didn't think it was going to be this much of a job. It's a 2-dayer.
Now, what would Leroy Hoard say if somebody messes with his rocks? Like if he does come home and he finds out that his rocks were to be messed with, I feel like it's going to be a similar reaction to, oh, bleep.
Yeah, no. I say, hey, man, so like we had my wife's nephew is down from Canada, right? They in the pool playing. Mm-hmm. And you know how the water overflows it goes out of the jacuzzi into the pool, and that's how it circulates.
Yep.
He decides that he gonna stand in front of the little spillway so the water can't go into the pool.
Yeah.
So I said, hey man, how do you think the water flows through this pool?
You don't think like how long did he do that?
Long enough for the entry into the pool to start bubbling. I'm like, hey, how do you think the water flows through this pool?
Interesting.
Right? He doesn't like me. No, he doesn't.
Why?
Because I call him out on this stuff. He's a little kid bully.
All right, so yesterday, I'm going to go to Dolphins here, Leroy. Eric Rowe.
Hey, man, come on. Come on.
Eric Rowe, Dolphins defensive back. He was asked about Tua Tagovailoa. And this was an interesting comment. Take a listen to what he had to say. And maybe taking a little shoddy shot at a former offensive coordinator of the Miami Dolphins. Listen to this.
He's always had accuracy. That was never a problem. He's always had accuracy. He always had the zip. He always had power. I just believe it's that year 2 jump. Everybody needs to make from their rookie year, and then obviously the type of offense. Because last year I even noticed his playbook was condensed to like slants and bubbles. Really wouldn't let him show his arm. And now seeing in training camp, he's got a lot more deep routes. He's got a lot more. They're allowing him the opportunity to throw it deep. That's what we need.
So there you go, Eric Rowe saying that Tua's getting to show off the arm, Leroy.
He's accurate in what he's saying, but what I would say is this: coaches meet on a number of occasions to discuss things like this.
What a guy can handle.
and it's never a one-man decision. And so you would like to put that on one guy, but I've seen times where my head coach, he listens to the offensive calls and then switches over to the defensive calls. And if he don't like it, he will tell them to call something different. So that means everybody was on the same page with how they were going to handle Tua going into these games last year.
But I'm asking you this, not that it's not a disagreement, just a question. Is it possible that a guy who last year with the offensive coordinator being Chan Gailey, who's as seasoned, I'll use a nice term with it, as he is, with as much experience as he has,
that the head coach is
gonna give him the right away. Like he's gonna I don't want to use the term defer, but he's going to kind of let Chan Gailey do his thing, and we do know that he had the infamous term not to the level of hits when it came to Tua Tagovailoa last year.
To a certain extent, yes, but they're having discussions. And at any point in time during the course of those 10, 11 games, he could have said to him, let's open it up a little bit and see what he can handle.
Right.
They were all in agreement on how this situation was going to be handled, good or bad. Like sometimes you have a picture in your mind of how you want this to play out and what you want the progression of Tua to be. And things happen, and you have to decide whether you're going to adjust those plans because the team started winning. So are you going to open the playbook, or are you going to stay consistent with how you're going to, handle the maturation process of your quarterback? So I don't think it was just one guy, but I do believe it was a collective effort to handle Tua the way they did for whatever reason.
Well, they're all mentioning too about this whole year 2 jump thing, just the idea that he has comfortability, the OTAs, the off-season training, all that type of stuff. So I think it's probably natural that he is looking more confident, that he is letting it fly a little bit more too. But maybe there was we know by the off-season moves that they made that they were trying to give him more weapons and give him, some more of a dynamic edge to this offense. But in fairness to him in this camp, he hasn't really had them because Devontae, other than Jalen Waddle, everybody's pretty much been hurt. Gesicki's been out with COVID. Will Fuller hasn't played yet. Devontae Parker was just doing individual drills. So he's doing a lot of this with guys that you didn't probably even think were going to make a big impact this year on the offense.
Right.
At least impressing.
And it could be there to the point now with Tua that they allow him to go out there and make plays because he has a better grasp of what's going on, not necessarily from the offensive end, but he can see things better on defense.
I also think that.
So
go ahead.
They look. This is a progression. Like you can clearly tell from a coaching perspective and a teammate perspective, by going through practice on a daily basis, how far along your quarterback is. If everybody's on the same page and he's looking at the same things and everybody's on the same page, then you can say, okay, he's picked this up. Now it's just a matter of execution. That doesn't always happen. One of the hardest things in the world for a young quarterback to do is that, in college, you have enough time to look until a guy gets open. In the NFL, you have to anticipate that. Mm-hmm. So from when the ball snapped, your head and your eyes have to be doing the right thing. If that's not the case, even though you understand the play, you don't quite understand how to make the play go. Right. And I think that's how you got in trouble earlier in the year, saying I didn't understand, I didn't know the playbook like I should know it. We all know plays. I can give you guys a playbook and I can then go through it and ask you what to do on a certain play. But you also have to know, okay, how does this play change against this defense? How are we going to adjust this blocking scheme against this defense or this pass pattern or stuff like that? So it gets much more in the detail than just being a play on a piece of paper.
I think the thing that other people were probably excited about hearing that is that, one of the things that became kind of a narrative by the end of last year was that Tua doesn't have an arm at all. And by the end of it, you were making it seem like he was like Southpaw Chad Pennington. And I'm like, listen, I'm not mistaking the guy for having a merino hose or anything like that, but I never thought of the guy having a noodle arm. And
here's the thing. And sometimes an athlete looks his worst when he's uncertain. So, like, even when a running back runs the football, if he's not quite understanding the blocking scheme, he kind of tiptoes up to the line of scrimmage. Even when a wide receiver runs a route, if he's not real confident in that route, he kind of tentatively comes out of the break because he's not sure if he's doing the right thing. So just the confidence of knowing what to do throughout that offense is going to create crisper offense, crisper throws, better decisions, better routes. All these things come together to where it looks like, oh, Tua got a stronger arm this year. Oh, this guy looks a lot faster, when in actuality, they're more confident in what they're doing. It happens a lot, man. It's one of the hardest things to, like, the coach used to always yell, we used to go to the line of scrimmage as running backs. We didn't know who to block. We saw two guys coming. You have a rule. You block inside out. If you have two guys, you block the inside guy out before you get to the outside guy. As you get older in your career, you can run towards the inside guy, but it looks like that outside guy is going to get there first. That's just playing football and playing smart football.
So you just got to
okay, but the rule is the rule. So you're always going to go inside out. When you have all these little intricacies of a certain play, the only way you're going to get through that is repetition, understanding, hey, Tua's going to be like, you know what? I can buy myself a little extra room, a couple of yards of room if I look that safety off.
Hey, can
I
say something?
Sure.
Your football talk
is
back.
It's back?
It's back.
You like it?
It's back.
Point for Leroy.
We'll take a break here on the show. You guys can text at 786-360-0790. We're back after this.